Hi, this is Mike from the Global Ozone Rubber Participant Study. Look at these two rubber bands. This one has not been damaged by ozone pollution. It is still clean and fresh. This one, however, same age, but it's been exposed to the outdoors and to ozone pollution, which damages the rubber. The same thing that happens to this rubber, in a sense, happens to your lungs. It damages healthy breathing. Your lungs lose elasticity. Now, to participate in this study, you go to the instructable sheet, you download the GORP sheets, and you'll need some push pins and some rubber bands, a couple of empty water bottles. I use the 8-ounce ones. And make sure your rubber bands are nice and fresh. You don't want old cracked ones or you won't get good results. Pick out 2 rubber bands that are exactly the same. Make sure you have your GORP sheets. You'll need some Scotch tape. Take your bottles, put them in the sink, fill them up, and you'll need to get a little cup because you want the water to go all the way to the top. So top them all off after you've filled them up, and the water should crest over the top. So you're going to take your rubber bands, you're going to put them around the threads like this. This is kind of the hardest part of the experiment. Put them over the threads, make sure it's kind of tight, try not to squeeze too much water out. Take the cap and then screw it down so that it squeezes the rubber band, so the rubber band will then hold on to the water bottle, because the water bottle is going to be the weight for the rubber band that's going to let you do this experiment both outside, where the ozone is, and inside, which is your control. Now, see here, watch. If you can do that, hold up your water bottle from the rubber band, then you've done it right. Do the same for a second bottle. Again, try to make sure that as little water comes out as possible because you want the weights to be as close to the same as you can. By participating in this study, not only are you helping clean the air where you live and around the world, but you're also going to get an idea of how much ozone is in your area compared to your friends and your loved ones. Look at the size of the rubber band compared to the GORP sheet, and you'll need to circle the one closest to the width of your rubber band. You'll also need to fill out the GORP sheets. You're going to estimate the distance to factories and major roadways. You'll estimate the difference to forests. You'll fill in the dates. You'll fill in one sheet for the inside and one sheet for the outside. The inside is your control because there's not a lot of ozone pollution inside your house, and the other one is the outside one where there's a lot of ozone pollution, depending on where you live. I live close to a roadway. There's a good bit of ozone pollution. Then you're going to need to hang up one outside, and you're going to need to hang up one inside. So take a thumbtack, hang up your water bottle from an outside wall. Please make sure that it's well away from sunlight. You don't want sunlight shining on this. Try to make sure it's reasonably protected from the elements. Under a patio is good. And you'll take your GORP sheet, and you're going to line up the 0 line with the top of the label on your bottle. So again, you do the same thing on the inside. This is your control. And then take your GORP sheet, slide it up behind your bottle so that the 0 line aligns with the top of the water bottle. Tape it down, and then over the next few days, you're going to take data. You're going to see, as this rubber gets damaged from the ozone, that it loses elasticity. And as it loses elasticity, as you can see there, the bottle starts dropping lower and lower. And eventually, that rubber band is going to break entirely because it's going to have so much damage to the rubber that it can no longer support that bottle. You can skip a line where you put in your dates, but you just need to draw an arrow to where the label aligns on your GORP sheet. As the days go by, look at the difference there. That's just over a few days. When the experiment's all done, try to get the rubber bands before they break, but if you don't, it's okay. Send us the pieces. Take a Ziploc bag, put the date on it, take the rubber bands, and put them inside there, and you're going to mail them to us. We're going to subject them to all kinds of interesting studies to get an idea of how much ozone damage there is in your area. And hopefully we're going to have data from all around the world, but especially your data, which is important to us. Here's the address. You stick your rubber bands in a little bag in an envelope, mail it to that address. Please make sure you put a stamp on it. The post office needs a stamp to deliver it. Also include your mailing address inside the envelope. See, I did a little self-addressed stamped envelope there as a sample. And then we will mail it back to you with all sorts of good stuff inside, like a fix-it clip, as you see there, from the 4x7 project, a scientific gauge, which is really, really cool, and a lot of people love these scientific gauges. You might also win a crunchy case. Your participation is helpful. You'll be helping yourself and others. Please check the link below for the web address.